welcome. Thanks very much for tuning in. As we continue to focus on Haldwani district, as per the High Court orders, what has now been said over the politics with the communal twin that seems to be happening over the disputed land of the railways that the High Court has now ordered to be cleared up of the encroachment. This is the SP delegation, the Samajwadi Party delegation that has now reached the site. It is being said that they will be also meeting the people as per the opposition parties, as they have been raising the issue and giving in as a communal test, saying that there is a particular community which is being targeted on part of the government here. There have been delegations on part of Samajwadi Party on the instructions of Akhilesh Yadav that have now reached Haldwani district. Now this is being said at a time when the High Court there and the judgment which has already been challenged by several petitioners in the Supreme Court, the matter that will be taken up tomorrow in the Supreme Court, the demolition drive which is also being carried out, it is now being said this is one of the longest battles that have been fought in the courts over the land. But following the High Court order that had asked for all of the encroachments along the railway land to be demolished and the help of the police and the paramilitary forces to be taken to remove those encroachers who had forcibly and they were living illegally on the land. Now what is being said, even now the surveys and the demarcation that is being carried out of at least 78 acres of the land which the railway claims to be of theirs, this is where the people have been sitting on dharna and have been defiant. They have been saying that they have been staying on the same land for several decades and they have the required papers and documents to show. But prior 1 week notice that has also been given, an eviction notice that has also been given. Let's talk about the politics here. Sabyasachi is with us right now. Sabyasachi, we're looking at those pictures that are coming in of this SP delegation that has now reached Haldwani.
Well, absolutely. See, the HT delegation led by the Moradabad Lok Sabha MP HT Hassan have reached Haldwani, and right now they are visiting the houses where the eviction notice has been served by the railway. And every single day, this particular matter is getting more and more controversial because of the involvement of the opposition parties. We have seen that Samajwadi Party, Congress and AIMIM also have interacted with the people. They have also said that the local administration have failed to fight for the rights of the people, and that's how the opposition parties would become the voice of this people. And time and again we have seen that they have questioned the role of the state government in it, stating that at this particular time during the harsh winter it is inhuman for the railways and the administration to vacate the houses of around 50,000 people. So that is the reason why the oppositions have been getting involved in this matter. But over the time, this matter is getting a communal angle to it, with the help of the opposition, who is seen to be inciting these locals. Today also the Samajwadi Party delegation has come in, though the matter is pending in Supreme Court. It will be heard in Supreme Court tomorrow. The High Court has given its judgment, but still you can see the delegation are going inside the houses of the locals to whom the eviction notices has been served.
But Sabyasachi, that's the point. I mean, what exactly is the delegation's agenda? Meeting the people, but to do what? Are they going to go against and provoke the people to go against the High Court order here? Because the people there have been refusing to move themselves out.
Well, absolutely. See, here the role of the opposition, they are speaking to the locals. They are telling them that despite the High Court order, the opposition parties, Congress, SP and other political parties are with the people of Haldwani. That's what the opposition leaders are stating. And they are going, in fact, against the High Court order. The High Court clearly stated that they have to vacate the land in the coming 7 days, and now the matter is in Supreme Court. So clearly at this particular point, the opposition parties could be seen giving more value to politicizing this issue over the judiciary giving its statement.
With us, politics on
इलाके में जहां पर मकान तोड़ने की कार्यवाही के लिए 10 तारीख का निर्देश दिया गया। हाई कोर्ट का निर्देश, यहाँ के बाशिंदे 5 तारीख के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट के इंतजार में बैठे कि आखिर क्या कार्यवाही होगी। और यहाँ बता दूं, ये कोई ऐसा इलाका नहीं एक पक्ष के ऊपर कार्यवाही हो रही है। यहाँ सर्व समाज के लोग निवास करते हैं और लगातार परेशानी का सबब है जो वर्षों से रह रहे हैं, उनके लिए एक अपना घर छोड़कर जाना काफी परेशान भरा हो सकता है, और वो मान भी रहे हैं और लगातार मंदिर में पूजा अर्चना भी चल रही है। आइए आपसे मैं जानना चाहूंगा कि कैसे देखती हैं आज जो ये कार्यवाही हो रही है सरकार की तरफ से। सबसे पहले सवाल ये, क्या मांग लिया आज भगवान से आपने?
हमारा घर बच जाए करके मांगा है। सबका बचे, हिंदू क्या मुसलमान का, सबका बचना चाहिए
जी,
क्योंकि सभी की सबका ही है। बेचारों ने सबने एक एक पैसा जोड़ के बनाया है, तो वो जाएंगे कहाँ? कोई भी हो, कोई जाति का भी हो,
हाँ।
सबका बचना चाहिए घर।
अच्छा, आप कब से रह रही हैं यहाँ पे?
हमें तो 50-55 साल हो गए यहाँ से। 55 साल करीब हो गए यहाँ।
तो क्या लग रहा है, अब तो भगवान के मकान भी टूटेगा क्योंकि ये भी इज्जत में आ रहा है?
अब साहब जो है ये तो ऊपर वाला और यहाँ की सरकार इसको बचा सकती है, बाकी हम लोग तो प्रयास और पूजन कर सकते हैं, प्रार्थना कर सकते हैं भगवान से। ठीक, भगवान से लड़के तो ले नहीं सकते, भगवान से प्यार से ही कहा है कि मेरा क्या, किसी गरीब का भी मकान ना जाए।
Well, meanwhile, the local administration as well as the police, they have prepared an action plan to carry out the demolition exercise. In fact, these are the live visuals which are coming in of the SP delegation which has arrived there in Haldwani. These are the live shots which you can see. Remember, there has been a massive political twist which has been given with several of the political parties having landed in Haldwani. Remember, Haldwani, this entire area is something which was or has been rather a bastion of the Congress Party. Congress Party has also now come out and said that it is a specific community which is being targeted. Meanwhile, even as you can see, the SP delegation wearing their red cap, some of them have already landed there as well. They have been accusing the BJP government of carrying out targeted encroachment drive against the minorities. However, remember, all of this encroachment drive is being anti-encroachment drive is being done at the behest of the High Court, which had ordered that all the areas which belong to the railways must be cleared out. There is a Gafur Basti, that is where most of these inhabitants are. In thousands of families have been living there. This is one of the cases which has been dragged on from 2007, when for the first time the railways had also put in an official complaint against the encroachment, following which the High Court had said stop the appeasement politics. Important to point out that the High Court had said stop the appeasement politics and make sure that the land of the railways is returned, following which there was an anti-encroachment drive by the administration, and now you can see complete ruckus and politics has broken out. Let me go across to Sabyasachi. Sabyasachi, already you have the SP delegation which has landed, several other insightful statements being made about targeted drives being carried out by the administration. Is politics somewhere vitiating the entire anti-encroachment drive ordered by the High Court?
Well, absolutely. You see, right now you can see on your screen the SP delegation led by the Lok Sabha MP from Moradabad is leading, and they are meeting the people to whom the eviction notices has been served. So at this particular time, it can be seen that the opposition political parties are politicizing the issue, are turning it into a communal angle, and that is why we had seen that the opposition parties at this time has absolutely no regard for the High Court order. The matter is to be heard in Supreme Court tomorrow. So clearly, it is very important for the leaders to come out and make sure that the law and order situation on ground stays normal rather than inciting the people. So at this particular point, the delegations have reached Haldwani. They are going they are doing a rally up to 2 kilometers, where they would be going to the site where the candle march was taking place on 1st of January. So this is how the opposition parties are planning to get involved in this matter. They have spoken to the people. They have said that they are going to stay with us.
Stay on with us. We'll just come back to you, Sabyasachi, for more details. Sumit Ridesh is joining us. He is the Congress MLA from Haldwani. Anila Singh of the BJP also here on the show. But Sumit, I'm going to come to you first. This is after all the area of Haldwani where you are the MLA from. Already you have a lot of acrimonious statements coming in against an anti-encroachment drive ordered by the High Court. Now you have the SP which has landed. Why are you opposing it if it is monitored and ordered by the High Court?
No, we are not opposing it. We believe in the due process of law. And we've approached the Supreme Court, and Mr. Salman Khurshid is our lawyer, and the matter will be heard upon tomorrow. We have faith in the judicial system and judicial values of India. And
well, Sumit, you're giving me a very measured statement, but is it not true that your own leaders, have said that this is an anti-encroachment drive against the Muslims? Is it not true?
It has been proved that there is encroachment, ma'am. If you listen to me very carefully, 70% of land in my Vidhan Sabha is Nazul Bhumi. It's revenue land, Sarkari Bhumi. And I kept pleading to the CM and the BJP government to do a joint revenue and railway demarcation of land. And, there we would have had the truth. But the state government did not represent its own residents, its own people for a single day in the High Court. That's why the High Court took such a decision. Now all eyes are on the Supreme Court.
Okay.
I would like to plead on this channel to the CM and to the Prime Minister.
Appeasement politics, which has allowed this encroachment to happen. This is, of course, a Congress bastion that the High Court is talking about.
I've been residing there there are houses that are coming in this demolition order that have been there for over 100 years. There are temples there. There are community centers there. Are you trying to tell us that the state government encroached upon railway land and built
this is the High Court.
Schools?
This is the High Court which has said it. It's not me. It's not my opinion. It's not anyone's. It's not even the BJP's opinion. It's the High Court which has said that there is appeasement politics.
The problem is the state did not represent its people for one single day in the High Court. Otherwise, the result from the High Court would have been different. Now we approached the Supreme Court. We believe
which you have every right to go to the Supreme Court. Absolutely. I agree with you. You have every right. I was talking about the politics around it. Varis Pathan of the AIMIM is also joining us. Varis Pathan, do you think this is the right way to protest? There is a legal avenue. The other avenue is that of blocking the entire area. Very categorically, the court has said, the High Court has said that there has been appeasement politics which has allowed these decades of encroachment on railway land, on Sarkari land.
The Constitution has given right people to protest peacefully. People are protesting there as they want their dwellings to remain there. The High Court's order is challenged before the Honorable Supreme Court. It will be heard tomorrow. But where is Prime Minister Modi? He said it before 2022, every individual in the country will get home of his own. But here, people who have been residing...
He didn't say it's going to be on government land, on Sarkari land. Varis Pathan, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just asked you a straight question. I was hoping that I'll get a straight...
If those people living there unauthorizedly staying there, if the structures were unauthorized, why were the state governments taking property tax? Why were they taking assessment tax from them? Why did the state government invested in that area? See, this is nothing. You have to look into it with a humanitarian eye. Also, where will these 70,000 people go? There are 3 government-run inter-colleges. There are government-run schools. Young daughters are coming on the streets. We have seen videos. They are questioning. They are requesting Prime Minister. They are saying, Prime Minister, aapne kaha tha, beti bachao, beti padhao.
Varis Pathan, you're absolutely right. That is something that the High Court has also said. There are glaring revelations pertaining to inaction by the state government. Successive state governments must answer. However, I'm going to come back to the point of legality here. The High Court has said that this is due to vote bank politics. It has been allowed. It is land which belongs to the railways. Is any kind of encroachment upon Sarkari land allowed as per you? Should all of that be allowed or none of that should be allowed? How is the communal angle coming in?
First, allow me to make my point. If you are not interested in listening to me what I want to say, I am extremely sorry. I am not interested in making a point.
I had asked you straight questions, which is why I was hoping for straight answers.
You are not allowing me to make my point. What is this?
You're speaking, sir.
I won't speak as per your whims and fancies. I will speak what I want to say.
Which is why we've given you, we've called you and we've given you the space to give your point.
People are asking the Prime Minister.
I'm sorry, sir, you don't like my questions. I'm sorry, sir, you don't like my questions. But all I have asked you and showed you is what the High Court has said. I'm sorry if you don't like it.
The question here arises not of liking a question or not liking it. The question here is I am making a point. If you may reject it. Who says? I am not asking you to provide them accommodation. I am not asking you what will happen to them. I am asking through you to the Prime Minister of the country. The young children are coming on the streets and they are asking Prime Minister, where will we go? If our schools are demolished, where will we study? Where will we go in the winter? And I am hopeful that the Honorable Supreme Court will grant us relief.
So, Varis Pathan.
Kempakola compound matter in Mumbai.
Varis Pathan.
Do you know about the Kempakola compound matter? Come on, tell me what happened there. I am asking you a question. What is the issue of the Kempakola compound matter in Mumbai?
I'm sorry, Varis Pathan. I didn't realize that I'm an elected representative of the people. I'm not really representing people. It's my job to ask questions, not to give answers. And I'm not answerable. Perhaps you, part of a political party, should be providing answers. And these are legitimate questions I'm asking you. You don't seem to like it, but I'm going to read it out again, that there is vote bank politics. This is again not me saying it. I'm going to quote the Uttarakhand High Court in its 2022 judgment, which says that political shield given by ruling party for political gain, shield given by unauthorized occupants for vote bank. Is that what you and other parties are playing at? I'll ask you the same question again and again.
Again, my reply will be the same, that where will these people go in this winter? Where will they go? They have been staying there since several years. They have been paying property taxes. They have been paying municipal taxes. They have been paying the assessment. And who allowed them for so many years? What was the government doing? Why no action was taken for several years? For more than 70 plus years they have been living there. 70,000 plus people are staying there. There are 2 mandirs. There are 19 masjids. Who will take care of them?
I agree.
What will happen?
But you agree that there was vote bank politics. I agree with you. Successive governments must answer. You agree that there was vote bank politics?
Because there are the majority of them who are staying there are Muslims. I think the government is not interested in that. Otherwise, the government by now in Delhi, they have regularized the colonies. They could very well regularize this Haldwani matter as well.
Because there are Muslims there.
Can be regularized. But why the government is silent? Why no steps are being taken to ensure that those hutments are regularized?
I'm surprised, Varis Pathan, because you yourself are aware that there are temples. You just mentioned it yourself, that there are temples also in this area. If there were a targeted strike against Muslims, then temples would not be raised. And let's not forget, this is not the government's doing. This is not the doing of the authority. It is the High Court. Are you saying that the High Court has played a communal card? How can you say that?
If the High Court has passed an order and if we feel, the people of Haldwani feel that we have to challenge it, if they have all the right as per the law to challenge it before the Honorable Supreme Court, and well, they have challenged it, and we are all expecting that the Supreme Court will definitely give some reprieve, because this also requires a humanitarian approach. We have seen in Kempakola compound matter in Mumbai, the matter went to the Honorable Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said to the PMC that you can regularize, and now they are staying there.
I have agreed with you that you have every right to legally challenge a decision by a High Court and the Supreme Court. There are no two ways about it. We're not even discussing that. We are discussing about the vote bank politics. Let me put that question across to Sumit Ridesh also. He's still there with us. He's of course the Congress MLA from that area. Sumit Ridesh, perhaps I'll get some straight answers from you. The High Court has said political shield given by the ruling party for the political gains, shield given by unauthorized occupants for vote bank politics in a Congress bastion. Sumit Ridesh, can you specifically give me an answer to this?
This happened because, like I said, the state did not represent its people properly for a single day in the Honorable High Court. These people, like the gentleman who spoke before me, he's right. They've been dwelling there for the past 70 to 100 years. The latest dwellers, I'm talking about people who actually own houses, not tenants or people on rent.
Right.
They must be 20 years old. So, you know, I mean, and like I said, 70% of my Vidhan Sabha people are dwelling on Nazul land. We have various documents to prove this, which we will, there is a mountain of evidence which shall be presented before the...
So you're saying so far that documents, a mountain of evidence has not been produced before the High Court. If you're saying you'll only produce it to the Supreme Court.
If I may intervene, it was produced before the Honorable High Court as well, but the state government simply bowed down.
And that's the point. I'm very glad that you've made that point. Sumit, do stay on with us. Sorry to interrupt. You stay with us. Anila Singh has been waiting for a long time as well. BJP spokesperson. Anila Singh, we have. Sumit, at least he is honest about it. He says the entire mountain of evidence was even presented to the High Court. But they are saying they still feel that they have the right, which they do legally, to go and challenge that in the Supreme Court. But where does politics end, and how can we ensure that we legally resolve this issue instead of having this kind of protests which are happening?
You know, I was listening to Mr. Sumit and Mr. Waris Pathan as well, and they both are advocating appeasement of politics and nothing more than that. I was hearing Mr. Sumit, he said that this is Nazul land, this is Nazul land. What is Nazul land? Isn't Nazul land is also a government land? So any sort of encroachment, you say, is a legal thing? And even encroachment on Nazul land is absolutely wrong. Legally, it is wrong. So you are saying people who have done wrong for so many years, it is correcting. This is a victim card playing. And above all, let me tell you here one more thing. Like since 2007, an effort has been made to get this land evicted. More than 1,000 notices have been given to these people that you have to evict the land. And they are not evicting the land. What we are observing in today's date is caterwauling in the name of Allah. Holding up posters, coordinated crying and victim playing, women and children out there in cold protesting, and people like Mr.
Let me take that point across to Sumit Hridesh. Is the communal card now being used to play the victim card over something which is inanely illegal as per the High Court?
Ma'am, like I said, I would like to inform this honorable spokesperson from the BJP as well. 70% of my Vidhan Sabha people are dwelling on Nazul and in Uttarakhand and all the Mahanagars. If you take a survey, these poor people are residing on Nazul land, not only from the Muslim community, from all communities. So it's a matter for the government. In the House, I spoke very openly, and I asked the government to kindly represent them, do a revenue and railway joint demarcation. Now the railway is taking its claim on revenue land, which is Uttarakhand Sarkar's land. And the Uttarakhand government, which wants to loot a lot of applause with the division of properties with UP, when it comes to their own land, isn't representing its people and its land. So this is a travesty of justice, gross negligence by the state government.
Well, it's surprising you calling it a travesty of justice, because every legal avenue is being explored. So if at all justice is being upheld, the High Court has looked into it, in its wisdom has given an order that all this encroachment, as it is called, illegal encroachment, must be removed. Now you all have also gone to the Supreme Court, which you have every legal right to do. We'll wait for that matter to end in the courts instead of on the streets, as it seems to be happening. Thank you so much, Sumit Hridesh, for joining us, as well as Amelia Singh.